Hello friends, welcome to a new reading vlog. My name is Lacey. Today I am starting a themed reading vlog, sort of. So this is going to be an Emily Henry reading vlog. She just came out with a new book this spring. I still have 3 books, including that one, from her that I need to get to. And we're doing that this summer. We're making it a priority. So I am like right in the middle of a super intense cleaning on my kitchen, and while I clean we are going to listen to the audiobook for, I think we're going to start with People We Meet on Vacation. And I don't know much about this. Let me give you a little history first, actually. All right, sorry, I had to move because I couldn't hold the camera like that any longer. So the history that I have with Emily Henry is that I did read Beach Read by her, I think last summer. I was a little disappointed by it. I gave it a 3.5, which is like a pretty good rating, but I didn't love it as much as everyone else seemed to. And the thing I did not like about it was the romance. I really loved the familial aspects of that book, especially because like the main character is not really able to deal with those problems. And I don't really want to talk about the synopsis of that book because I'm not going to be like reading it or reviewing it or anything like that in this video. But if you've read it, which it seems to be pretty popular, most people have at this point, the romance in it left me wanting. And I think that I need more romance from her future books, from the books that I still have to read. So we're going to start with People We Meet on Vacation. I do have an audiobook checked out of it from the library. I actually don't know much about this one. Is this the one that's about these 2 people who always go on vacation together every year, but they're just friends or something? I don't know. We'll find out together. I believe that all of her books are narrated by Julia Whalen, who I do love. So let me get started in it and we will chat later. Hello friends. So it's just a little bit later. I'm just less than halfway through this, so like 47% or something like that. I am really enjoying it so far. I mean, I obviously don't know like what twists it's gonna take. It seems like these 2 are just friends, which is crazy to me, and they go on these trips together every year. Like 2 hot people are not just friends. I don't care what anyone says. All we know is that 2 years ago, the trip they went on to Croatia, something went wrong. They haven't talked to each other really since then. So she ends up convincing him to take one more vacation together. And now she has this week to like figure everything out, get everything fixed. The reader doesn't yet know what happened in Croatia. All that's been implied is that maybe they took their relationship to the next level as far as their friendship. It sounds like there may have been some sexual content between the 2 of them at that time. We don't really know at this point. So far I am really enjoying this more than Beach Read. There's really no familial aspects of this book to go into it like there was Beach Read, and so this one really is mostly just about the relationship between the 2 of them, and I like the relationship better in this book so far than in Beach Read. Also, I am this character. What's his name? Alex. I am Alex from this book. I relate to him so much. I just think that if I was annotating this book, I'd probably be highlighting a lot of his quotes because I'm just like, yes, thank you. But anyways, so far so good. Just wanted to pop on here and say that at the halfway point, I am enjoying this. And I have heard that like if you don't like Beach Read, you might like this and Happy Place. And the same people that like Beach Read also like Book Lovers. But I'm gonna read all 3 of them, the 3 that I haven't yet read, and we'll find out. But so far, I am enjoying this one. Yeah, that's all I have to say. Hello friends, I have an update for you all. I have finished People We Meet on Vacation, and I loved it. I loved this book. There is like one big thing about this that I think I have to look over, but when I do look over that, it is a 5-star read. And that is something I think I've already touched on this vlog, honestly. Don't remember what we've talked about. Life is chaos, and I don't even know what I've talked about in this vlog yet. Haven't started editing yet or anything. But I think I talked about how I am not a believer. Like this man and this woman who are both straight can remain platonic for years while also going on these super intimate trips together all the time. And they even go on these trips like while they have significant others and expect their significant others to be cool with it, or like want to invite their significant others to go with them. And that part of it is weird, okay? Like, obviously, they can't remain platonic. Like, that's the entire point of this book. but I did love it a lot. I loved that like friends to lovers aspect of it. I liked the way they had to like work through everything. I liked the timelines being mixed between the present and the past, and how we got to see each of their summers play out over time, in addition to the one that's playing out currently. So I loved this. Definitely my favorite Emily Henry so far, and this one gives me hope that maybe I can like Emily Henry. I didn't dislike Beach Read, I just didn't love it the way everyone else did. In fact, if I was only basing off of that book alone, I probably wouldn't have continued on with Emily Henry, but I am happy to say that I loved this one, and this one can go on my shelf now. So it's gonna go up here in the green section because the spine is green. Okay, the next Emily Henry book we're gonna get into for this video is Happy Place, only because this one became available from my library first. I do also already have the hold ready for book lovers, but this one is gonna be expiring soon, so I need to get to it first. So this is her newest release, and I'm actually very excited about this one as well. This is about our two main characters whose names I do not know off the top of my head, but Harriet, I want to say, is one of them. But anyways, they've been dating for a while, and I think they were maybe even engaged at some point, and they always go on these trips with their friends during the summer. And the thing is though, they broke up 6 months ago, and they're going on this last trip with their friends, and they've just decided to pretend like they're still dating. Let's not tell our friends about it so that we don't ruin the trip and nothing's awkward and we can just go have fun, and then when we get back we can tell them. So I think this is a combination of second chance romance but also fake dating. I think this one's gonna have a huge friendship element to it as well, and I am very excited, a little nervous just based off like some of the reviews I've heard of this book, which I try not to like listen to spoilers or reviews really when I know I'm right about to read something. I have a prediction for the ending of this book already, and I hate that. I want to be surprised, and I want to be happily surprised. But without further ado, I'm going to get started on my weekly cleaning, and I'm going to listen to this audiobook while I do it. So let's get started. Hey friends, so it is a little bit later in the same day. I have finished all I'm gonna do as far as cleaning today. I'm feeling a little puny. I don't know like if I have a fever or what, but it's just enough to be really annoying. And also I have like a crick in my neck, didn't sleep great last night. I'm sure all of these things are going into why I'm not feeling the best. Hopefully if I get a good night's sleep tonight, I'll feel better. But all that is to say that I've only made it 40% into Happy Place so far, and I'm not feeling as gripped by this as I did People We Meet on Vacation, but I am enjoying Emily Henry's writing and just seeing like what's gonna end up going down between these two. I'm definitely intrigued and want to know more, but it's not cute yet, or maybe it's not going to be, I don't know. But really it's just been kind of like they've just been mean to each other, which I haven't loved. And yeah, anyway, it's not gripping me quite as early as People We Meet on Vacation did. Hopefully I do start to feel a little bit more towards this book. As of right now, I'm just kind of meh on it. I did make it 40% into it before I had to like stop cleaning and just kind of relax. I've been physically reading actually, but that's for another vlog. I just wanted to get on here and tell you where I stopped at. So hopefully I can get this book read throughout the week, and if I get any other opportunities between now and when I finish it to update you, I will. But that's where I'm at the moment. It's okay, not my favorite so far, but it's still pretty early, so hopefully I can get hooked at some point, and I will chat with you all later. Hello friends, I do have an update for you all. So I did finish the audiobook for Happy Place yesterday. I had some like around the house projects and was able to get the book finished like right in time before my hold went up from the library, so that worked out nicely. But I did decide to give this, I don't know, I think I'm gonna give it a 4, maybe a little bit closer to like 4.5 stars. So definitely like a high 4. And I really enjoyed it a lot, obviously. It did take me a while to like start to appreciate it, but once it got more into the like nitty-gritty of the relationship, I did start to like it more. And it did have some familial aspects that went into it as well towards the end, which I really appreciated, and found myself relating to Harriet quite a bit in like the thing, like the relationship she had with her parents and stuff. So whenever you relate to a book, it really makes you want to give it 5 stars, doesn't it? I've noticed that about myself. I'm like, this book is a 3, and then there's like one thing about it that I'm relating to at the end, and I'm like 5 stars. But I think I'm gonna give it 4 stars. I don't own this book because I'm kind of irritated about the fact that it came out in a hardcover. But I do think I would like to haul this book because I did like it so much, but I am gonna wait. Since I've already read it, I'll just wait for the paperback to come out, which will probably be at least a year from now, which is annoying. I probably will start hauling her books sooner in the future, like whenever they're first released, and reading them when they're first released, like even if it's a hardcover, because my books don't stay together. On my bookshelves, I do separate authors and series and stuff just based on color, so it's not really a big deal. And I get them from the library when I can anyway. So it's not really a big deal if they don't match. I'm trying to be less upset about that. I think what is irritating is that an adult hardcover book is like $25, whereas a paperback is still expensive at $17, but at least a little bit less expensive. So this one didn't feel as like epic to me as People We Meet on Vacation. Like that book just felt so like a swooping love story that I appreciated so much. This one definitely had some great messages in it, but the relationship itself was just like, why aren't you together? Like, why aren't you putting in the effort to be together? Like, communicate about it and be together. That's what irritated me about it a little bit. But I also think that the reasons that they did like fall apart were valid and all that good stuff, but it's just like, it wasn't like enough reason to not be together, in my opinion. But I did really like the way it ended, and it is a different ending than I was expecting. I think I maybe said at the beginning of reading this book that I thought this book was going to go a certain way, and it didn't. So for that, I'm grateful. I did really like the way this book ended. The messages that it had were about finding out what makes you happy instead of making everyone else happy, and I really appreciated that. And just like being enough for yourself and not necessarily being enough for other people. So that I related to, that I really liked, and I'm giving it a 4-star rating. So now I've read 3 out of the 4 Emily Henry books, and I only have 1 more to read. So that is Book Lovers. And this is admittedly the one that I know the least about. I do think it has like a enemies to lovers romance in it or something like that, or maybe rivals to lovers. But it says, one summer, 2 rivals, a plot twist they didn't see coming. So Nora Stevens' life is books. She reads them all, and she is not that type of heroine, not the plucky one, not the laid-back dream girl, and especially not the sweetheart. In fact, the only people Nora is a heroine for are her clients, for whom she lands enormous deals as a cutthroat literary agent, and her beloved little sister Libby, which is why she agrees to go to Sunshine Falls, North Carolina for the month of August, when Libby begs her for a sister's trip away, with visions of a small town transformation for Nora, who she's convinced needs to become the heroine in her own story. But instead of picnics and meadows or run-ins with a handsome country doctor or bulging 4-armed bartender, Nora keeps bumping into Charlie, a bookish, brooding editor from back in the city. It would be a meet cute if not for the fact that they've met many times and it's never been cute. If Nora knows she's not an ideal heroine, Charlie knows he's nobody's hero, but as they are thrown together again and again in a series of coincidences no editor worth their salt would allow, what they discover might just unravel the carefully crafted stories they've written about themselves. So this one sounds like it's gonna have like a major literary element to it. Her first book, Beach Read, also had a literary element to it, but this one is like seems even more so. I felt like the fact that, is it January and Augustus? What are their names? The 2 characters from Beach Read are authors, but I don't feel like that really like was on the page that often. So it sounds like the fact that these 2 are involved in the literary world, our main character Nora being a literary agent and Charlie being an editor, is probably going to play a big role in their story. So because I have been enjoying Emily Henry, you know, in this vlog so far, I'm hoping to also really enjoy this one. It's 373 pages, which seems a little long for me. I don't know. I'm excited to get into it nonetheless. So this is the audiobook that I will be starting next, and I can't wait to get into it and be on the other side of this Emily Henry hurdle and like have read all of her books. So we will chat whenever I have gotten started in Book Lovers. Hello, let's talk about Book Lovers. So I am now 48% into this audiobook, which is pretty good progress for one day for me. I am finished with my summer cleaning project, which is super exciting. And that's how I've been able to get through so many audiobooks this summer. And it's probably why my Goodreads goal is going to be met this year. Having an extra day off in the summer has been really nice. I do still have 2 more weeks of my summer hours, like where I get my extra day off, and I think I'm just going to use them to read physical books, so that's exciting. But anyways, let's talk about Book Lovers. So this one is quite different from her others. It feels like the main character here is a little bit less likable. I don't dislike her or anything, like she's fine, but she's a little bit more like Cruella de Vil, and they kind of make jokes about that throughout the book. I think because of that, I'm not like super relating to her, and therefore like I just don't really care. But it is an enjoyable read, and I will say like this main character does feel super different from her others, and same with the love interest. He feels super different from her others as well, and it has been like a funny read, but also it I think could end up tapping on some serious topics as well, just like all her books have done so far. I wouldn't be surprised if this one is either my least favorite or my second to least favorite, but I can appreciate the fact that this main character is quite different, quite unique from her others, and it is kind of interesting to hear her talk about the literary world a little bit. Also, this main character has a really great relationship with her sister, and they've gone back to this small town from a book that Nora wrote a while back to try and be the heroines of their own story, you know, like to romanticize their lives by basically trying to mimic a small town trope in their own personal lives. That's really all I have to say about it so far. Like, I'm not super excited about it, but knowing my history now, I can say that I have history with this author. Happy Place took me quite a bit to kind of get into it before I did get into it. Beach Read I didn't really get into. I really liked the familiar aspects of that book, but not so much the romances. And People We Meet on Vacation I was pretty much into from the beginning. But this one is just kind of following the same template as her other books for me, with the exception of People We Meet on Vacation. So I'm going to keep plugging through. I don't think I'm going to listen to a whole lot more of this today since I am done with my summer cleaning. I really don't think I'll have a whole lot more audiobook time today, but I'll keep plugging through throughout the week, and then we will chat later. I was able to listen to the audiobook for Book Lovers, and I finished it this morning, and I really loved it. I went ahead and marked it on Goodreads as a 5-star, and that feels right, maybe a 4.5. But I've said this a few times this year, and I'm going to say it again. Take my ratings with a grain of salt. Just know that I mostly really enjoyed it. Like, that's all you really need to take away from my ratings. A 5-star means I mostly really enjoyed it. I loved the literary elements of this book. Like the fact that our main character is a literary agent and is interested in editing, and the love interest Charlie is an editor, and they work on this book together. That's like the plot of this book, is they kind of start working on this book together. Our main character Nora kind of realizes that the author of the book is writing a book about Nora, and that she's not a very likable character in the book. So she's got like a Cruella de Vil vibe, and so it's just kind of funny, and it allows our main character, Nora, to see like herself and decide who she wants to be. And I just really loved the literary elements of this book, because they'll talk about tropes, and they both like to read, and they appreciate a story for what it is, and like how one of the themes of this book is everything ends, like the good stuff and the bad stuff. And our main character, Nora, is trying to decide like if that's how it is in her real life. So I really enjoyed the familial aspects of this book. I love when a book is like a great romance and also has some good familial aspects to it. So this was that. She has a really great relationship with her sister, and they have to like figure out who they are as individuals now that their mom has passed away. Well, their mom has been passed away, but that was kind of like when they started becoming dependent on each other. And so now they're trying to learn how to be independent from each other. And they lead very different lives. Like Nora is single and not interested in kids, and her sister Libby has 2 kids already and is pregnant with her 3rd and is happily married. So it's just kind of interesting to see how different they are, yet how much they love each other. And I really loved the romance as well. Our main character, Charlie, he is swoony, and I do think that they are right for each other. It's the fact that they are unique characters, like I've mentioned. He felt unique too, and he felt like the right match for her. So I did give it a 5-star, maybe a little bit on the lower end of 5-star. But it did really grow on me quite a bit. I loved the last half of this. And it had like a small town vibe in it, while also a big appreciation for like New York City, which I don't know. I'm not like a big city person. I'm also not really a small city person. Like, I don't want everyone in my business, but I also don't want a big city. So I live in an in-betweeny, and I love it that way. I'm also not like originally from here, so no one knows my parents or even me really, and that part is nice. But the locals around here, they all know each other. I just realized how see-through my shirt is, and you can see my black bra through it. I'll probably just change into a nude colored bra. Alright, so that concludes my Emily Henry vlog. I have now read all of Emily Henry's books, and I am very excited about anything she may produce in the future. She is solidified herself as a favorite author for me, and I think I might want to prioritize her books in the future and like read them as soon as they come out. And in the physical format, I believe, I would assume that all of her books are going to be published in hardcover from here on out, just like Happy Place was, which is so annoying. But I think I might end up pre-ordering them and reading them as soon as they're released in the future, so that I can be like not so far behind, which I'm not so far behind on Happy Place, but on People We Meet on Vacation, Book Lovers, and Beach Read, I was quite far behind. So this was a successful reading project. I'm so glad I didn't base all of my Emily Henry opinion on Beach Read, because like I said, didn't end up loving that one. Definitely my least favorite. I think my ranking would be People We Meet on Vacation, Book Lovers, Happy Place, and then Beach Read. Like, Beach Read I would say is significantly lower than the next highest, which is Happy Place. Like, Happy Place, Beach Read, and People We Meet are like top tier for me. So thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed. Let's go chat in the comments. Give this video a thumbs up if you liked it, and be sure to hit subscribe on your way out. I do try and post 1 new video every week. Thanks guys for watching, and I will see you in the next one. Bye!